Most people come into contact with a police officer in the form of a traffic stop, a traffic ticket, which can sometimes lead to more serious circumstances. I'd like to talk to you about the traffic stop for a second. Keep in mind that the traffic stop is perhaps the most dangerous situation for a police officer, because when a police officer makes a traffic stop, they don't know what they're encountering. They don't know whether they're encountering you as a private citizen who is a law-abiding citizen and has just been speeding, or whether they're really encountering somebody who has just committed a horrific offense. So they have to deal with every traffic stop mentally in the same way. They will stop your vehicle, approach you, and ask you some initial investigatory questions, asking you to produce certain documentation like your license, registration, and insurance card. It's very important that you keep your hands visible to the police officer, because any movement that would suggest that you're hiding something, whether it be drugs or a weapon, may not only elevate the officer's concern, but elevate the legal rights that the officer has as they approach your vehicle. So keep your hands up where they can see them, be courteous and respectful to the police officer, and provide the documentation that they ask for as quickly and efficiently as possible. Other than that, you don't have an obligation to say or do anything for that police officer, other than to be courteous. What do I mean by that? The officer may ask you whether you know why you've been stopped. You don't have to answer that question. He may ask you, do you know how fast you were going? Or questions along those lines. Again, you don't have any obligation to answer that question, but I would suggest being courteous and being cooperative with the police officer in terms of providing the documentation that we discussed and taking any documentation in the form of a ticket or something else from him or her as they conclude the traffic stop. If an officer has a heightened level of suspicion, they may ask you if they can search your vehicle or search the trunk of your vehicle. You have absolutely no obligation to permit the police officer to do so. And I would often suggest that you don't. The fact that you refuse to allow them to search your vehicle does not give them any greater right to search or any reason to arrest you. They must act with probable cause, which is a legal standard that fortunately or unfortunately may have to be litigated in court, but your consent to a search will do away with that initial legal standard. Again, be cooperative, be courteous, provide the information in the form of the documentation, license, registration, insurance card that the police officer requests. Be cooperative in that respect, but don't volunteer information. If you have any questions about this, you can reach us at any time.